I've been blessed with the opportunity to be involved in several multi-generational homes. To be able to house a family of 4 generations, allow so many people to find joy in a home, to me that takes architecture to another level. Never a day goes by that I'm not excited about what I'm doing. So I've been an architect for close to 30 years. You come out of school, excited about the world, entered commercial architecture. So I've been with URA, was involved in the Parliament House. It was my very first job. From there, I moved on to Enquiries, did a lot of commercial projects, hospitality hotels, did a currency board, which is a one-of-a-kind project. I realized that with commercial practice, as exciting as it was, architecture is my passion and my love. Residential projects actually gave me that extra depth of connection with individual clients. I've been doing residential architecture for the better part of close to 20 years now. Done all types of houses. Never a day goes by that I'm not excited about what I'm doing. I enjoy talking to people, I enjoy hearing their stories. When I started the business of doing more residential houses, I took a lot of pride in the time I spent with the clients, trying to know them and understand them. You also need to understand children that will be living in the house because they'll eventually grow up. All these things to me are important points, and that's why I take a lot of pride that I am the person running every single project. Projects evolve, even during construction they evolve. I think it's very important for the architect that conceives to be the same architect that runs the project through the construction all the way to the end, right down to even the choice of furniture. I think it's a complete process, and that's where I take a lot of pride in our practice, that we give this very hands-on approach to architecture. My faith is very important. My faith as a Christian is very important. I'm grateful to God for not just what He's given me, the abilities, but also the opportunities. So every morning I wake up and I'm excited, new projects, ongoing projects, doesn't matter. Sometimes I get people just come up to me, give me an idea, what can I do? And that gets me excited because it's always an opportunity. Whether the door opens or not, that's not important. And it just gives me another chance to meet another person and interact with the person, and you never know where it leads down the road. I've been blessed with the opportunity to be involved in several multi-generational homes. It's not only a challenge, but it's a joy. Because to be able to house a family of 4 generations, each with their own areas of joint interaction, or just to be able to go out into solitude, I see a lot of value in that. In the context of Singapore, a home is a very, very expensive commodity. How you can utilize that land area, big or small, in terms of a home, in terms of how you are able to allow so many people to find joy in a home, to me that takes architecture to another level. Very excited every time I'm able to do one of those or be a part of it. A redemption project that I've been involved in is actually still ongoing. It started off with a client approaching me and bringing me to this plot, saying, okay, Brendan, do you see any value in this plot? Is it something worth investing in for my family? And the plot had actually been looked at and passed over by many, many people. I looked at the plot and I could see the value in the plot right away. I could see instinctively there is tremendous potential for this plot. However, understanding the rules and regulations, I said, there are certain things that we need to overcome from the onset. So I engaged in communications with URA. We talked over the course of about 2 months. We were very blessed that URA actually agreed to what I proposed, certain measures that could help to enhance the land. And as a result, when URA came back to us with a positive communication, I convinced the client, said, this is a fantastic plot, we should go ahead with it. It's a true redemption project because really it was passed over by just about everybody that saw it. When it's finally revealed, I believe some, if not all of us, will be familiar with the locality because most of us will have passed by this plot and just didn't give 2 winks about it. So if we can redeem this plot, it's a true success story. A house where it sits, there's history, It's not just about tearing a house down and rebuilding. So I think this particular redemption project I referred to is very similar. Obviously, there were certain constraints that were tied in, but I felt the house had good bones. And it was really a pity to just tear it down and redo. The house can be saved. Keeping the bones of the house is one thing, and how you re-infuse the existing house with a new richness and layer of meaning, I think is where the success of the project will come about. Future-proofing a house is not as difficult as it appears. A typical question that I ask most homeowners, is it a short, medium or long-term planning that you have for this house that you're staying in? Then we understand what are we future-proofing for, A family, for example, if children, they're going to grow up. I've been involved in projects where 4 grandchildren become 6 grandchildren, right? And we actually future-proof the house 2 extra rooms were already on the standby, ready to go. So bathrooms are not built in, but the infrastructure is in. The idea is that it's already been future-proof to allow the family as it grows. Obviously, spaces too, they can be fairly flexible. For example, in this particular house, this client mentioned that if ever they sold the house, they want an extra room. Extra rooms obviously commands a better price. But in the meantime, it's his personal space, but it's already been future-proof to be a room in the future. And I think a lot of houses these days, we future-proof it for electrification, electric cars, etc. Solar panels goes without saying it. These are all things that even if you don't want to implement it right away, our advice is please allow for it to happen. And allowing for it to happen could be as simple as the choice of the roofing. Sun angle plays a big part in the efficiency of solar panels. So if you're doing a 30-degree, a 45-degree versus almost flat, the energy efficiency is very different because of the sun orientation. Factors like that, we will lay it out for the clients to understand upfront. So it actually shapes the look of the house, obviously. So don't think, put the solar panels up there, forget about it, right? You've got to think about future-proofing. If ever you need to fix the panels, I need to be able to access the roof. So roof gardens are becoming more and more an aspect of design, not for the sake of aesthetics, but also for the sake of practicality as well. For me, the biggest challenge really is keeping the joy of architecture in my spirit so that it is reflected in the projects that we carry out. And I say we is never me, it's not a one-man show, I may be the person in front and behind, but there are so many people involved and so many other industry players involved, whether it's door window system, whether it's solar panels. It's never just the architect. I take a lot of pride in making sure that I'm connected to all these people, right? So to me, the challenge is really not being tired out and jaded out to the point where I lose the joy of doing what I'm doing. The same thing I would always tell junior architects, keep that joy, keep that fire in you, because that's the most important thing. My name is Brendan. I'm the director at Studio ISH Private Limited.